Hello, good evening, and welcome to Glendale Community College for this ACCA matchup between the Glendale Gauchos and the Mesa Community College Thunderbirds. I'm Ethan Jordan alongside you here on the Gauchos live stream. Glendale comes into this game 4-3 on the year. Mesa, on the other hand, 0-4, looking for their first W here tonight. Glendale comes off a tough loss to Chandler Gilbert a week ago, in which they were up on Chandler, the Coyotes, for much of the game, but on a late run by Chandler Gilbert secured the victory for them. So just about ready for tip-off here, as looks like Trayvon Newman will take the tip for the Gauchos against Malpine, the starting center for Mesa. Dominique Sessman, the starting point guard, will take it up. He'll dish it out to the left side, and Bryce Cheney. Now Cheney trying to put a move on Bradley. The long layup is no good, and coming down with the rebound is Newman. Newman will dish it off to Bankowski. Bankowski playing the point tonight. Working around the outside, here's Rentrope. Rentrope trying to get to the baseline, now dish it back out, and the shot from Demonez is no good, and the rebound is grabbed by Franklin. Now Franklin trying to run a quick break as he dishes up to Pine. Pine now to work it back to the top, and Franklin. Franklin looking for a pass. Now get it back out. And there's the shot from Sessman at the top of the key, and he buries the three as the Thunderbirds strike first here, up 3-0 early on. Here's Rentrope. Rentrope runs into a double team, now goes inside and dishes it out to the corner. Working around the outside, now to Bradley at the top of the key. Bradley will set a screen and hand off to Newman. And some more ball movement here. Rentrope, a contested three from the corner, and the rebound grabbed by Bankowski. Good offensive board there from the point guard as he came in from the right side and just kind of reached up. Shot from Bradley once again, no good as he pulls up from deep. Rebound grabbed by Mesa. Now it'll be Sessman taking it up. Sessman will dish it over to Cheney. Cheney working against Newman. Now against Bankowski. Bankowski will get it into the post. And here's Franklin. Franklin with the dish to Perez. Perez back to Franklin, just working it around the outside here. Gaucho's not giving an inch in the paint. And this one tipped away and grabbed at his feet by Pine. But a shot clock violation will have it back for the Gauchos. Bankowski in trouble. Now he'll dish it outside to Demonez. Demonez taking his time now, working against Perez. Demonez will hurry it back to half court and a handoff to Newman. Still working it around the outside now with Bankowski. Bankowski in the double team. Gets it to Demonez, the three, and he buries it from downtown. We're tied at 3. Alex Demonez was the wide open man there off the double team. Good move by Bankowski to get it to Newman, who found the open man for the shot. So here's Sessman now. Sessman working against Bradley. Tough matchup for him here tonight. Cheney will get it into Pine. Pine with a spin move, goes to the rack and lays it in. Excellent finesse play there from the big man. Now here's Rentrope. Rentrope's just going to dribble it around for a moment against Perez. Now the dish over to Bradley. Bradley with the cross-court patch nearly stolen by Perez. Gets it to Rentrope, who pulls up and misses the three. 5-3 here in favor of the Thunderbirds. Three from Perez, no good. Bradley struggling with the rebound. Pine able to wrestle it away from him. Pine in the post, and he's fouled by Bradley, and he'll head to the line. And it looks like on the foul, he may have gotten Bradley in the face as he appears to be in some discomfort underneath the basket. He'll shake it off as he gets in position for the two shots coming here for Pine. 5-3 Thunderbirds here early on against the Gauchos. 17:04 left to go in the first half. And at the line, Malpine here for the Thunderbirds off the foul from Bradley. And that's the first team foul of the night. First foul against Bradley as well. So Pine ready for his first attempt of the night. That one no good, and the score will remain 3-5. Pine on the year. No free throws yet for him, as this is his first game for Mesa. So his first attempt, no good. So and we'll see some. So we'll have a pause and play here as looks like on the play, we mentioned the discomfort that Bradley was in. He was bleeding on the court, so that's the cause for the delay, as they'll get that cleaned up he'll get fixed up, and we'll see a substitution for him as Ryan Sedig will come into the ball game for Bradley. So interesting here for Glendale as their star will come out a little bit early. I expect he will be back fairly shortly, but at least for the moment, out getting that lip repaired. Pine ready for his second attempt. Missed the first one. Gaucho's still down 3-5 as Bradley's going to have to sit out trying to get back into the ballgame, but the ref says, no, you got the substitution. You have to stay out at least for this play. So it'll be Sedig trying to get the board here off should Pine miss the rebound. Rest of the starters remain the same for the Gauchos, and Pine nowhere close. In fact, airballs that free throw out of bounds, and the foul turns out to be a good one as Pine unable to score, and the Gauchos still down by only 2. Newman will inbound here to DeMonez as DeMonez will take it up the court. They'll set up with Bradley in the post. DeMonez will dish it out to Newman. Newman goes to the corner, and the newly inserted Kyrie Johnson coming in after the last free throw. Bradley grabs a near steal away. Johnson for 3 from the near side. No good. And the rebound grabbed there by the big man, Bryce Cheney. Cheney taking it back up the court. He's coming for Pine. Cheney working against Newman. Now he'll dish it over to Perez. Perez trying to dive past DeMonez, the underneath, and he gets the lay-in. Went with the original, then went underhand to get around DeMonez. Terrific play that time at the hoop by Perez. Here's DeMonez now. Working around to the outside and Bankowski. Bankowski, you're yet to hear from him tonight. I expect that will change as the pass off of Johnson. He wasn't expecting it, and the steal. Oh, terrific steal by Bankowski. Couldn't do anything with it, and now grabbed by Franklin. Franklin to the top of the key, and taking the shot is the big man Cheney. No good. Franklin grabs the miss. Now in the post, and Perez no good on the long jumper. And the rebound is grabbed by Bankowski. Bankowski trying to work the quick play to DeMonez into the post, and Bradley can't make the free throw, couldn't make the layup, but it matters not as he's called for the offensive foul as Sessman takes the charge. So that'll be Bradley's second foul already of the evening, so going to want to keep an eye on that. Of course, only 5 fouls allowed here in the ACCAC before you foul out of the basketball game, and he's already got 2, with still 15:54 left to go in the first half. So it'll be Mesa basketball as they'll get it into Sesma. Sesma's working against Rentrope. Taking up the court, Rentrope going with that full court press as we see the Gauchos do so often. Here's Cheney. Cheney misses the open pass, now working against Sesma. Into the paint as he lays that one in. Got the clear lane and he took it. And now 9-3 as Gauchos trying to break this run here from the Thunderbirds. Rentrope with the basketball here. Rentrope runs into some trouble now, dishes out to Newman for the 3. That one's offline. And fighting for the rebound in the corner is Sedig, but it goes off of his hands, and that'll be Mesa basketball. So here's Franklin now. He'll do the inbounding for Mesa. His team up 9-3 here early on as Johnson tried to kick that inbound out, but unable to get a foot on it. Sesma now will dish it over to Cheney. Cheney at the top of the key, back over to Sesma. Sesma got Rentrope on him. Sesma drives into the double team, now back out to Cheney. Cheney trying to make his man Luan miss. And a pull up for 3, no good. And the ball tipped, but finally grabbed by Johnson. Now we'll get it over to Rentrope. Rentrope back up the court here for the Gauchos. Newman will dish it to the corner, and where it's Luan who dishes back out to Rentrope. Luan for 3 from the corner, no good. And the rebound off the hands of Franklin, but grabbed by Sesma. Sesma will dish it ahead, and the 3 is drained as Billy Patterson knocks that one down. The big man showing off his range there as his team up now 12-3. Once again, Mesa looking for their first win of the season so far as they're 0-4 on the year, but an early 12-3 lead here tonight in Glendale. Here's Luan, now dishes it over to Rentrope. Rentrope, the deep 3, no good as it's off the back iron. And the 2 teammates go up for it as it was Franklin and Cheney fighting over the rebound before realizing they're wearing the same colors, and then just let Cheney have it. Now into the corner and Patterson. Patterson will dish back out to the top of the key and Sesma. Sesma going into the lane, now back out to Perez who takes the corner 3 off a little bit short and grabbed by Johnson on the rebound. Here's Rentrope now. Rentrope a between the legs dribble move, now back to Johnson. Johnson thought about a 3, thinks better of it and passes out to Luan. Now into the corner and Newman. Newman back out to the top of the key, Rentrope. Johnson will pull up for three from the far side, off the back iron, and no good. Just a little too strong that time for Johnson. We saw him go on quite a run back at Chandler Gilbert. Looking for another one of those here. Now here's Perez working on Johnson. He'll go back out to the top of the key and Sesma's foul, driving to the lane. And the hand check called here. And I've got to imagine not going to be called on the shot, so likely an inbound coming here for Mesa. Third team foul against Glendale here. Inbound coming for the Thunderbirds. Antoine Ross Jones, newly into the ball game, will dish it into Sesma. Foul is called against Trevon Newman, his first. And it's a play drawn up there. Sesma thought that perhaps Cheney would be cutting. Cheney wasn't cutting. And the pass out of bounds. Just a little miscommunication there for Mesa, and it'll be Glendale basketball. Taking it up, Alex DeMonez back into the ball game now. He's in as well as Dustin Bankowski, as Bankowski and DeMonez will work it around with each other. Chris Mullaney also into the ball game here for Glendale at the small forward position. Now they're just dishing it around the outside, looking for any opening. Nothing given so far here. Bankowski, a little stutter step, now will give it out to Newman. Newman trying to dish it back to DeMonez, tipped. Now here's the shot from Mullaney. This one no good, rattling around the rim for a moment before being grabbed by Ross Jones. Ross Jones working against Bankowski. Now he'll dish it into the post for Errol Newman, and the foul called here. And a push called here against the Gauchos, and in fact against Alex DeMonez, his first foul of the evening. Fourth team foul for Glendale as they're nearly into the bonus here. Excellent inbound pass as they get it to Ross Jones, who lays it in for the easy bucket. And timeout called here by Guy Meyer. I think a good timeout. His team just doesn't seem to be in rhythm so far here in this one. Down 14-3. Can't get anything going on offense. Terrific defense from head coach Trey Clarkson's Mesa Thunderbirds so far. Guy Meyer trying to draw something new up, get his team fired up here in the timeout. We'll take the timeout with them. 12:31 left to go in this first half. 14-3. Mesa leads it over Glendale here at Glendale Community College. Oh, welcome back to Glendale Community College. 14-3, the Mesa Thunderbirds lead the Gauchos with 12:31 left to go in the first half here on the Gauchos live stream. Alex Desmonet, the point guard, dishes out. The three from Mullaney as he drains it from the near side. And the Gauchos finally break the streak. A long run for Mesa is snapped by from the three by Mullaney. And Kimbrell newly into the ballgame here for Mesa, dishing it out to the outside, back to Byers, and a whistle here, and the ball in possession of the Gauchos. So here's DJ Luan now. He's looking to dish it in to Desmonet. Luan, Bankowski, Mullaney, and Newman, the five on the court for the Gauchos. Desmonet taking it up here, working against Kimbrell. And stolen by Kimbrell. Here they're trying to work the quick break here with Franklin. Franklin, it's taken away by Bankowski. Excellent work by Bankowski, preventing the quick play from Mesa, and they'll get it back out to him at the top of the key. He'll work it over to Mullaney. Mullaney to Newman. The long three is offline, a little strong that time from the big man, and grabbed by Mesa. So here's Kimbrell now. Kimbrough working against Bankowski. He'll hand it off to Ross Jones. Ross Jones on the inside. Long layup, no good. Pulled down by DeMonet. DeMonet had a man open in Mulaney, but it'll like to go back out to Newman. Newman steps up, runs into trouble, and stolen by Cheney. Bryce Cheney, his first steal of the evening. Oh, and a great vision that time from Bradley as he dished it inside to from Franklin as he dishes it inside to Newman, but Newman covered up quickly. But a jump ball called, and the Gauchos have possession. So Gauchos within possession. Only one basket since the called timeout by Guy Meyer. Belongs to the Gauchos, leaving them down by 8. They'd like another one right here with Micah Rentrope newly into the ballgame. Rentrope will pull up from 3. The big lefty drains the 3 from downtown. And now 9-14 as timeout called by Clarkson as the Gauchos have gone on a 6-0 run since the timeout from Guy Meyer. We'll take the timeout with them. 10:54 left to go here in the first half on the Gauchos live stream. Oh, welcome back to Glendale Community College. Ethan Jordan alongside you here on the Gauchos live stream, bringing you live basketball from the Valley of the Sun. Gauchos down 14-9 with 10:45 left to go here against Mesa. And the 3 from Antoine Ross Jones, nothing but net as he drains it, breaking the Gauchos 6-0 run. Gauchos back down by 8 now, 17-9. Now a dish to Bankowski in the corner will work it back out to Rentrope, who takes the deep 3. That one off the back iron, no good, and pulled down by Errol Newman. Newman will dish it ahead to Kimbrough. Kimbrough, the backup point guard here, working off the bench. Now dishing it over to Antoine Ross Jones. Jones with a 3 a moment ago, now back to Kimbrough. Kimbrough calling out a play to his offense, over to Cheney. And the inside dish, and the layup from Arms, no good. Tipped by a couple players and back into the hands of Ross Jones. Ross Jones will take it back out. Now hands off to Kimbrough. Kimbrough into the lane, the reverse move, and he lays it in. Oh my. Hang time that time from Brent Kimbrough as he's able to just kind of make a double move midair and lay it in. Here's Rentrope. Rentrope playing the point guard position here tonight, something we're not too used to seeing him doing, but doing it here tonight. Johnson will dish to Rentrope in the corner. Rentrope driving along the baseline. His pass tipped, but still able to get it into the hands of Mulaney. Mulaney to Johnson in the corner, and Curry Johnson, Drano from the near side as he knocks that one down. Gauchos pull the lead to only 7 now. Kimbrough taking his time, just dribbling near that half-court circle. Runs into Rentrope. Gauchos in the zone. Rentrope will pull up on Kimbrough. Now into the post and the corner, and Cheney. That one rims out, and oh my. Crashing to the ground goes Adonis Arms as he went up for the rebound and may have come down on Rentrope's foot, leading him to slip, and a foul called. Just a matter of who it was against as Arms went crashing into a whole crowd of Gauchos. In fact, they're going to call the foul on Arms, a painful foul for Adonis Arms as he took the punishment on that one and ends up getting called for his first personal foul of the night. Second team foul for Mesa. Arms still grimacing a little bit after the hard hit. He went crashing to the ground, banged his left arm hard into the court. So here's Johnson now. Michael Bradley back into the ball game here as Rentrope with a hand in his face and unable to make the 3. And it's grabbed by Ross Jones. Ross Jones taking it up now. Working on him is Bankowski, and they're going to call Bankowski for the blocking foul. Tried to plant his feet, but couldn't do it in time. And that'll be his first foul of the night. The Gauchos, I believe, 5th team foul. Non-shooting foul as they try to get the quick play off the inbound to Kimbrell. Layup no good. He's fouled on his way up, and Rentrope will pick up his first foul of the night. So Kimbrell heads to the charity stripe for his first time this evening. First one a little strong and no good, as Mesa has not looked particularly great at the line so far. Though they haven't had too many opportunities, I'm sure we'll see more now that they're in the bonus. 8:48 left to go here in this first half. 19-12. Mesa leads it here over the Gauchos. Kimbrell nothing but net with his second attempt, as now the lead up to 8. Here's Kareed Johnson. Cross-court pass to Bankowski. Bankowski on the far side. Working against Ross Jones. He'll take it back towards the middle and dish it to Newman at the top of the key. Newman setting the screen for Johnson. Johnson driving the lane. Now back out to Bankowski. Bankowski is fouled here, and it's a matter of whether it was Kimbrell or Arms with the violation. And it'll be against Brent Kimbrell. The reach-in foul against Brent. His first foul of the evening, 13 foul for Mesa. Non-shooting foul as the inbound will come from Rentrope here for the Gauchos. Rentrope will go with the long pass towards the half-court circle to Bankowski. Now Bankowski to the corner and Rentrope. Rentrope underneath the basket. It's to Johnson on the near corner. Johnson just missing that three as it rims out, and the rebound by Kimbrell. Kimbrell will dish it over to Cheney as Cheney will take it up, and Kimbrell now at the top of the key with the basketball. Over to Cheney on the far side. Now back to Kimbrell as they work it inside. The long two by Arms, no good, and pulled down by Traven Newman. Now Newman ahead to Rentrope. Rentrope looking to the post, and a foul called here on Micah Bradley. Bradley is fouled by Kimbrell, and maybe they'll call it against Pine. We'll see. Both of them got a piece of him. Just a matter of who the ref saw first. And the foul called here against Antoine Ross Jones as Bradley looked to be in trouble. Good work by him to take the fouls. And the inbound to Newman, and Coach Meyer looking for the foul but not getting it. Rentrope with the steal. No good on his layup. He grabs his own miss, however, and on the baseline, they're going to say he stepped out. He thought he was pushed. The ref says no dice, and the ball will go to Mesa. 20-12, Mesa leads this one here with 7:49 left to go in the first half. Inbound here to Brent Kimbrell. Kimbrell will take it up. Gaucho's working the zone here as picking him up is Rentrope. Rentrope will see a travel called here against Adonis Arms as he took an extra step there, and those are the kind of coaches you hate to see. Head coach Sam Ballard with some words for him as he heads back to the bench, and just not a good foul there. You can sometimes see the travel on the lane. You take that extra step, but he was just looking for the pass, and just a mental error that time from Arms. So he's out of the ball game now as Newman will dish it to the corner, and Johnson. DeMonez to Bankowski. Bankowski offline with that three there. Rebound grabbed by Franklin. Franklin inserted into the ball game for Arms. He'll hand it off to Brent Kimbrell, who's working at the top of the key, picked up by Rentrope. Now Rentrope and Newman going to double team in the corner on Perez. As Pine will go into the post. Cheney is fouled. In fact, they're going to say he traveled. Great work by Bradley. He got some contact there, but not too much for the ref's liking, and the travel called against Mesa. We'll see a timeout here. 20-12, the Mesa Thunderbirds lead the Glendale Gauchos here in Phoenix, or I should say in Glendale. 7:08 left to go in the first half. Hello and welcome back to the Valley of the Sun. Glendale Community College. 2012, the Mesa Thunderbirds lead it over the hometown Glendale Gauchos. 7:05 left to go in the first half. Taking it up is DeMonet. Now he'll dish it over to Luau, who gets it to Newman in the corner. Newman will go back out to the top of the key and DeMonet. DeMonet into Rentrope. His shot is blocked as getting the hand on it was Ramon Franklin. No surprise there. Micah Rentrope always quick to pull the trigger, and he was ready for it that time. And nearly ready for the steal was Rentrope himself as he tried to jump the passing lane, but strong hands from Sesma retained the basketball. Now it'll be Franklin. Franklin into the corner and Kimbrell. Kimbrell back to the top of the key, and Sesma will pull the trigger. No good as Kimbrell grabs the rebound, able to kind of box out DeMonet. Both of them running after the long rebound. Kimbrell able to get the hands on it first. Pass to Sesma. Now he'll go over to the near side and Ross Jones. Ross Jones to the corner, and it's Kimbrell missing the three, but grabbing the rebound is Franklin as he lays that one in. Good offensive board there for the sophomore, and now it'll be Glendale the other way. DeMonet from the half-court circle. He'll dish it over to Luan. Luan into the middle, and Bradley draws the contact and lays it in, but the foul called against Bradley as Ramon Franklin takes the charge. And the Mesa bench and this broadcaster thought that he took the charge, but the refs thought otherwise as Bradley will have the and one opportunity here as he'll head to the line. Boy, it sure looked like Ramon Franklin planted the feet and took the charge, and Sam Ballard seems to echo that as he's having a conversation with the Stripes here, but that's the ref's right on top of it as Bradley will take the and one, no good, and the rebound by Pine. Now Pine will hand it off to Dominic Sesma. Sesma at the top of the key now, working into that zone as DeMonet picks him up. Sesma over to Bradley. Not a whole lot of cutting so far, just working it around the outside as they're able to find Antoine Ross Jones somewhat open, but he misses the three wide. Right. And a whistle here. It will stop play as a foul called against Mal Pine. First foul against the 6'7" senior from Washington. That's good work so far from the big men here for Mesa. Haven't drawn too many fouls in the paint so far. And in fact, only in the last minute or so has Glendale entered into the bonus. So here's DeMonet. He'll dish it over to Luan. Luan, both teams just kind of working it around the outside so far. Haven't seen too many cuts to the middle. Bradley the long two, no good. His shot just a little bit off so far tonight. Not what we're used to seeing from him as Kimbrell will run the fast break and laying it in off the 2-on-1. So DeMonet trying to start a fast break of his own. Now he'll just slow it down and wait for his teammates. Bradley into the post. They'll, in fact, dish it around the outside as they get it to Luan. Luan on the near corner to Bradley. Bradley dishing it back out to DeMonet. Bradley still in the post, looking for that pass. Well guarded by Sesma. Sesma just preventing them from getting anything to their star, Dominic Bradley. And a steal from Anton Ross Jones, but on the steal, his foot may have skimmed the line here, and they're going to say he stepped out. So terrific defensive work from Ross Jones. He was just too close to the outside line. No chance to change direction. Credit him with the steal and then the step out. So it'll be Chris Mullaney to inbound here for the Gauchos. 4:48 left to go here in the first half. 24-14. Mesa leads it. The Gauchos trying to go on some kind of run here before the end of this first period. Inbound to Bradley. He'll set a screen now for Mullaney. Mullaney to the corner and Kareed Johnson. Now they're working around the top of the key to back to Johnson. Kareed into the corner. Luan pulling up with a hand in his face, and he drains the tree. A terrific shot that time from Luan as he said, you know, enough of this passing. I don't care what kind of defense is on me. I'm knocking this one down. 24-17. And they'll get it to the top of the key in Sesma. Brent Kimbrell kind of playing more of that shooting guard role here with Sesma back in the ballgame. As now we'll dish it around to Ross Jones. And thinking of it almost as what the Houston Rockets are doing as the layup no good, but a foul called as the foul against Sesma. Sesma and Brent Kimbrell, kind of a James Harden, Chris Paul dynamic where well, one guy's technically the point guard, the other guy's the shooting guard, but if the other guy's off the field, both can play the point guard, both can really dish it out. So that's an excellent dynamic for this Mesa backcourt. Sesma at the line here. He'll drain his first one as he increases the lead to 8 here with 4:07 left to go in the first period. .407 left to go, as we said, as Dominic Sesma will step up for his second free throw opportunity. He'll knock that one in as well. Now the Gauchos back the other way. Alex Demone working against Kimbrell. Now we'll give it out to Johnson. Johnson with Diallo on him. Now we'll give it over to Johnson in the near corner. Takes the three and knocks it down. 20-26 now as the Gauchos cut the lead to 6. Here's Cheney. Cheney over to Sesma. Sesma calling out a play to his offense. Now we'll dish it into the post and Cheney. Cheney, an excellent pass, and the Newman just rattles out on his layup attempt. Cheney, excellent vision to get it to Newman. Demone working against Kimbrell. Demone in some trouble. Kimbrell trying to trap him against the sideline. Now it's Mullaney driving the lane. Pass just out of the reach as Sedig pulls up for the long two, no good. 26-20 still. 3:05 is the fast break. Oh, terrific pass. Excellent vision that time from Ross Johnson as he dishes it over to Harold, who lays it in. Here's Demone. Gets the screen from Luan. Now over to Johnson. Johnson working against Cheney. And the long three, oh my. Pulling up with a hand in his face was Mullaney. Not a high percentage look there for him at all. 2:35, 28-20. The lead here for Glendale. Sesma will get it into the post, and Cheney, who just steps back from around the free throw line and knocks down the two. Guymeyer not pleased with the defense on that play as he gives a scowl to his team as Demone takes it up the other way for the Gauchos. Kareem Johnson from the top of the key will dish it to Demone in the near corner. His off the back of the rim and no good, and he's going to be called for the reach-in foul here. Couple of subs waiting to get into the ballgame as Newman and Dustin Bankowski on a knee here for the Gauchos. As Micah Rentrop joins the party as well, as all three of them will switch into the ballgame. And Perez coming in for Mesa as well. Kareem Johnson, Ryan Sedig, and Alex Demone taking a break here for Glendale. So it'll be Brent Kimbrell at the line off the bonus after the reach in by Demone. Kimbrell knocks down his first free throw attempt. 2:07 left to go here in this first half as the Thunderbirds lead the Gauchos 31-20. Demone, or I should say Johnson, no good on his second attempt. So the lead remains at 11. Working around the outside. Wide open look for Mullaney as he knocks down the trace. It was Bankowski and Newman really just working around the outside, and finally Mullaney was able to pull free of his man as he knocks down the three. Mesa taking its time, taking it up here. Dominic Sesma in no hurry as he gets it over to Perez. Back to the top of the key and Sesma. Sesma gave a look to Kimbrell, now dishes him the no-looker. Kimbrell for three, no good off the back iron, and grabbed by Mullaney. Mullaney the 2-on-1. He'll slow it down and get it back out to the top of the key, and Luan, who pulls up for three, no good. Now back over to Sesma. Sesma top of the key, he'll give it to Cheney. Cheney kind of working around the outside. We saw him more in the post earlier in the game. He's been more outside as of late. Speaking of outside, there he is on the near side. Now addition into the post as he gets to Newman. Newman back out to Kimbrell, who drains the three from the near corner. Bankowski over to Rentrop. Rentrop driving the lane, runs into some trouble. Now back out to Newman. Newman to Rentrop on the outside. Rentrop trying to kiss that one off the glass. No good as it rattles out, and the rebound by Mesa. Sesma with 43 seconds left to play in the first half, taking it up. He'll give it over to Perez. Now back around the outside as finally Kimbrell winds up with it on the near side. Cheney driving the lane. He'll try and draw contact. Doesn't get the foul, but gets the layup instead as there's 2 points. 22 seconds left to go. Gaucho's going to take their time here as Bankowski just working around that half-court circle and in no hurry. He'll go over to Mulaney. Mulaney back to Bankowski. Bankowski to Rentrup. Rentrup a little head fake. Now dishes. Oh, beautiful pass to Luan, who misses the attempt. 6 seconds left to go here for Mesa. Sesma, 3 seconds to Kimbrell. The buzzer beater, no good as he tried to draw the contact against Micah Rentrup, but no foul given from the referee. As at the end of one, Glendale trails this one 36-23. An excellent first half here for Mesa. And for Mesa, it was just they came out early, punishing defense for them so far. In fact, the defense has been very solid for both teams in this ball game. Not a lot of looks being given to either team in the paint. Mesa has been able to work their way into that paint area a little more in this end of this first half, but absolutely nothing given. You can kind of see even Dominic Bradley becoming kind of frustrated in the paint. There's just nothing there, and to be frank, you saw Chandler Gilbert a week ago. We talked about it a lot. They have the 3 guys over 6'10". Not as much size here on this Mesa team, but the defensive game plan from Coach Sam Ballard, give him all the credit in the world. They're playing a zone that the team is switching perfectly on. You can tell they could run the zone defense in their sleep. It's been seamless so far for Mesa, and that's what's given them this lead, only allowing the Gauchos 23 points. And the Gauchos have been all right from downtown, but when you have only a one-dimensional offense because of the shutdown in the paint, you're never going to be able to really get anything going offensively. So we'll step aside here about 15 minutes until we come back with the second half of basketball here from Glendale Community College. 36-23, Gauchos trying to make a comeback here in the second half on the Gauchos live stream. See you on the flip side, everybody. And welcome back to Glendale Community College. Second half of basketball about to get underway here from the Valley of the Sun. Glendale Gauchos down 36-23 to the Mesa Thunderbirds, and we went into the break talking about the great defense that Mesa is playing on the inside, and the stats certainly show this as well. As Glendale only one 2-point field goal in the first half. The rest of their points have come off of 3-point shooting. Only one 2-point field goal. That's kind of unbelievable. They didn't score a 2-point basket until 14 minutes were gone in that first half. Dish comes in as Sesma will get it started in the half for Mesa. They'll go into the post and Pine, and a moving screen, I believe, called against Mesa. So the ball will go back to the possession of the Gauchos. Gauchos down 36-23 to begin this second half, and we talked about it. The scoring just hasn't been there for Glendale so far. Reed Johnson and Chris Mullaney lead in scoring with 6 apiece. Everybody else has been fairly quiet. The star of this team, Dominic Bradley, only 2 points in through the first half. Trying to get it going here. Bankowski will get it into the post. And Newman, the strong shoulder, has just buries into Sesma and drives the lane and knocks in the layup. So that's one way to get it started. Gauchos back within 11. Here's Perez. Perez goes to Cheney. Cheney, the long jumper from the post, is good. Or I should say, from the elbow is good. So here's DeMone. DeMone will dish it over to Rentrop. Rentrop at the top of the key will go to the corner, and Bankowski. Bankowski, a little move on Perez. Now gets it into Newman. He's fouled on his way up. Foul going to be called here against Pine. That'll be Mal Pine's second foul of the evening. First team foul, or I should say the second team foul of the half already. Gauchos trying to get into the bonus early here. Come back against this 13-point Mesa lead. Newman will try and cut into it here as he heads to the line. First shot from Trevin Newman. No good as that one rims out. Free throw shooting for both teams has been a bit of a struggle so far, as they just haven't been able to find it from the charity stripe. Pine calling out the play to his team prior to this next attempt from Newman. Newman knocks this one down, and the Gauchos within 12. Dominic Sesma to take it up here for Mesa. Crosses the half-court circle, now runs into the zone of Rentrop and Bankowski. Stolen by Bankowski. Bankowski will dribble off the foot of Perez. A dish to the corner. DeMone for 3 is well short, an air ball, in fact. Bradley grabs it and off the hands of Perez, out of bounds, and it'll be Gauchos basketball. DeMone had a wide open look from the far corner, but was unable to find rim, net, backboard, you name it. But Bradley, aware enough to grab the ball, it was tipped away by Perez, out of bounds off the hands of him. And before the inbound, a timeout called here. Gauchos down by 12. An early timeout leaves us with 18:42 left to go in the second half. Stick around. We'll be right back from Glendale. Welcome back inside the main gym here at Glendale Community College. Ethan Jordan alongside you on the Gauchos live stream, bringing you ACCA basketball as the Glendale Gauchos tail the Mesa Thunderbirds 38-26. Inbound pass, a little bit errant. They finally get it over to DeMone. DeMone will now dish it over to Bankowski. It's over to Rentrop in the corner. Rentrop trying to get into the post. Now we'll go back out to Bankowski. Pass is tipped by Sesma, grabbed off the rebound by DeMone. Bankowski, a nice dribble move. Pass tipped in the air and grabbed by Franklin. Mesa will take it the other way. Losing the handle on it is Newman as Bradley grabs the steal. So a couple of quick steals, and we're back where we started with the ball in the hands of the Gauchos. 3 from Rentrop is no good, as once again the Gauchos failed to score. Here's Franklin. Now just hand it off to Sesma, who takes it all the way, the rest of the way from half court. Good dish inside. Now they get it out to Perez. Perez no good on the 3. And fighting for the rebound is Franklin and Rentrop, and they're going to call it over the back foul on Franklin. He didn't like the call all that much, but that'll be his, I believe, third foul, so keep an eye on that. He and Bradley, the two with 3 fouls so far in this one. Here's DeMonet now. He'll go over to Newman. Newman, as they just keep on working it on the outside. Nothing doing inside so far for the Gauchos. Newman back to out again to DeMonet. And just an endless cycle of passing, and they just can't find any open looks. As with a hand in his face, Johnson takes the 3, no good. Sesma will take it up now for Mesa. He'll give it over to Franklin in the far corner. Now they'll just keep working it around the outside. Cheney now back to Franklin in the corner. Franklin to Sesma at the top of the key, as Cheney trying for the pump fake. Now back to Sesma. Just working around the outside. No attempted shot so far. In fact, no attempted drive. Nothing being created here for either team. Sesma now will take the drive, and an excellent move by him. The stutter step, the double with the right hand, as he's able to get inside and lay it in with the left. So here's DeMonet now. Here's Newman. Newman working on Perez. Now Rentrop will get into the post of Newman, and there's some creativity from the Glendale offense as Newman unable to get it to go. First time in a while we've seen them work to the cut. In fact, that's what got them the lay-in earlier with Newman, was when he's able to cut along the baseline like that, but just no luck on the lay-in that time. Perez, a long cross-court pass as he gets it to Cheney for 3 as he knocks it down. Excellent vision that time to see Cheney wide open in that corner. So here's Newman. Newman back to the top of the key, and DeMonet work it around to Johnson. Now a cross-court pass to Rentrop. Thought about a 3, now takes it inside and back out. And the pass stolen by Franklin as he was up in the passing lane. Franklin loses the handle momentarily, now in the post. It's blocked by Johnson. Johnson getting just a piece of it there, able to send it back the other way as DeMonet grabs it off the block. Bradley for 3. Bang! He knocks it down. Dominic Bradley starting to get going now as he knocks down the 3. 43-29 now, Glendale trailing. Trying to go on some kind of run. Sesma, we'll see if that 3 from Bradley can get him going. Sesma out to the top of the key. He'll dish it around the outside, and it's Perez now near the Mesa bench. Now we'll go up to the top, and DeMonet. Excellent bounce pass from DeMonet as Perez buries the 3. Great pass that time from Cheney. Here's Johnson. Johnson to the top of the key, and DeMonet. DeMonet over to Rentrop. Back out to DeMonet. DeMonet working against Sesma. Little dribble move now to the corner, and Rentrop. Rentrop trying for the spin move around Newman, but lost the handle on the ball. And a timeout called here by Glendale, as we'll take it with them. 14:58 left to go here in the first half. Already 2 quick timeouts by Glendale here in this half. So we'll see where that leaves them should they make a run later in the game. They're not going to have a lot of timeouts to call, but for now they have their second call timeout of the half. 46-29, they trail. Come on back to Glendale Community College with us. Welcome back to Glendale Community College with the timeout concluded. Players will step back onto the court, and the inbound coming here from Perez as he dishes it into Sesma. Gauchos down 46-29 here with 14:51 left to go in the ballgame. Rentrope working on Sesma. Looking for the steal. Sesma, a crossover move, now slows it down. He'll spin around and dish it over to Cheney, and Cheney is fouled as he throws down the ferocious dunk, though it won't count as he was fouled before he could take the shot. First foul against the Gauchos, or I should say from the Gauchos this half, so that's a little bit better than last time. It's Chris Mulaney's first of the game. Dish into Sesma, nearly getting a hand on it is Rentrope. Perez into the corner. Little athletic hop as he lays it in with the left hand. Here's Rentrope. As getting into his face as Sesma getting the hands all over the basketball, but Rentrope, the strong hands, able to hold on to it. Into the post and Bradley. They'll go out to Johnson in the near corner. That one just barely rimming out as Johnson just a little bit off with that three-point attempt. Here's Sesma now, right around the half-court circle. Rentrope will give him a little bit of room, but not too much as he works it around the left side of Rentrope. Now Rentrope giving him too much room as he leaves him open, but got a hand in there at the end, but Perez grabbing the rebound. Here's Newman. Newman is fouled as he was trying for the layup. Newman looking for the Euro step and got pushed. And that's one of those, it's not a great foul there. That would have been an awfully tough chance for Newman as he was bouncing around the outside. And just would have been a long lay-in for him, but instead he'll get two chances at the line. Newman misses the first one, and in hindsight, any foul is a good foul if you can get him to miss one of the free throws. 48-29, Gauchos trail the Mesa Thunderbirds here in Glendale. He knocks down the second, does Newman. And now the lead is 20. Rentrope will get it into the post, and Sedig had his back to the basket. Should he have been turned around, he had a wide open lane, just couldn't see it. Luan on the outside now. We'll give it back to Mulaney. Mulaney passes tipped and keeping it in bounds somehow is Rentrope, but he dishes it in to the wrong colored jersey. Now Rentrope able to get the block on the return. Great job by Rentrope to get back on defense and strip it away from Newman. In the post is Sedig. He'll give it out to Mulaney. Mulaney for three, no good off the front iron. Grabbed by Cheney. And that rebound not grabbed until it got all the way towards the half-court circle before Cheney ran it down. Now it's Sesma. Sesma working against Rentrope. Rentrope playing him a little bit tighter after allowing the uncontested three a couple moments ago. Cheney will pull the three. I think his foot may have been on the line. Not going to matter as it's offline. Mulaney now will take it the other way as he gets it up to Rentrope. Rentrope will slow it down. And a great pass inside. Luan, the spin move, trying to lay it in, though. Sticking right with him is Newman and the good defense. Cheney and Newman trying to work the 2-on-1. Couple of quick passes and Cheney lays it in. Oh, beautiful passing from Cheney along with Newman. There's tiki-taka, back and forth until one of them was able to lay it in. That's what you want to do on that 2-on-1. He can't guard both of you. Johnson for three. No good. As it's Newman grabbing the rebound as he tips it over to Perez. And they're going to slow it down here, will the Thunderbirds, as Sesma will take his time. Meeting him at the half-court circle is Rentrope. Rentrope going to press him from there. Getting around is Sesma. Sesma to the rack. No good. And the foul, I believe, going to be against Sedig as he gives a little bit of an eye roll there as Sesma ended up driving into two Gauchos, but able to draw the contact. Excellent work there. He just drove around Rentrope, who looks to be in a little bit of discomfort here as he's grabbing his left knee. Oh, he's going to stay in the ball game. There's the first shot from Sesma as he knocks it down. Pine and Cheney going to take a break here as they come out in favor of Kimbrell and Antoine Ross Jones. Those two coming in to play the 2 and the 3, as Ramon Franklin will come in to play the 4. That leaves Errol Newman, only 6'6", in at the center, and Sesma in at the point guard for Mesa. Interesting here to see Ross Jones and coming in so late. Been one of the leading scorers in this game so far. Not getting an entrance in the second half until 12 minutes. And Johnson driving the lane, and they may call him for the push-off here. He kind of pushed back, maybe. No, they're going to say it was clean on the part of Johnson, and it'll be against Kimbrell as he may have gotten a piece of Johnson as Johnson stepped back. So Luan going to inbound here for the Gauchos on their half of the court. Down 53-29 with 11:57 left to go in the second half. He gets it into Newman. Newman in the post. Little floater, no good, as he was trying with the right hand there, just a little strong. And the strip from Johnson as he was able to get his paws on the attempted rebound, or I should say layup from Antoine Ross Jones. And something of note here, it's been a little while since we've heard from Adonis Arms. Adonis Arms, 2 fouls only in the game, and as we get into the second half, not too much foul trouble for him. This team's leading scorer coming to the game, and we haven't heard all that much from him. Has yet to be in the ball game since the first half. So you got to wonder if he's maybe a little banged up, as Kimbrell will take it for Mason now, dish out to Newman. Newman to Kimbrell in the corner as the sophomore knocks down the tray. And he knew he hit that one, the little flourish with the wrist flick as he ran down the court. Newman to Johnson. Johnson will dish it back out to Newman. Now Johnson will run to the top of the key. Still no pass from Newman as he tries to get into the post, and he's fouled. So the foul called here against Ramon Franklin. That'll be Franklin's 4th foul, so look out there. And a timeout called. So we'll take a break here. 11:14 left to go in the second half. 29-56. Glendale trails Mesa here at Glendale Community College. Hello and welcome back here. To Glendale Community College. 11:14 left to go in this ball game. Glendale trailing 56-29. Glendale will have the basketball as they inbound under their own basket. DJ Luan to do it. He gets it into Bradley. Bradley in the post will hand off to Luan. Good look there from 3. Bang! DJ Luan knocks it down. Excellent design on that one. And a timeout called once again from Glendale. We just got out of a timeout from Glendale. One play later, Coach Skymeier says, hey, let me take another one. So we'll take another quick break. In fact, we'll stay with you here. We're not going to make you listen to dead air for 2 times in a row. And we'll stay with you to talk about an interesting look here for Mesa with Ramon Franklin. Before we went to our first break, we were talking about it. Ramon Franklin already 4 fouls in this ballgame. With 11 minutes left, only has 1 foul to give. So not a lengthy timeout for Guy Meyer, so something pressing to talk about, but nothing too long as his team already back out on the court awaiting Mesa. So you got to wonder what Guy Meyer wanted to talk about with his team there that made him call a timeout after only 1 play. Antoine Ross Jones will inbound here for Mesa. It's Dominic Sesma, full court press on from Demonet. Sesma going around the back, trying to get around the pestering sophomore. Shelton Newman. Newman and Sesma, the point guard in the post. That's not something you see too often, but he's able to get it out to Kimbrell. No good on the 3, and Sesma maybe regretting not going up for the shot himself. Luan, the reverse, and no good as that one was over the backboard and out of bounds. That was interesting on the previous play from Sesma. Normally, if a point guard gets in the post, he's usually going to dish it out. Not going to go up for the layup himself, but He had almost a wide open look, but instead he just set out to Kimbrell, who missed the three. Sessman will take it up here. DeMonet once again putting on the press. Kimbrell in the corner. And Sessman once again will return to the post as maybe he thinks he can bully DeMonet down there. As here's the lay-in. Oh my. Just strong and relentless from Ross Jones as he powers through the defense and lays that one in. Ross Jones standing at 6'3", but he's a big fella, I'll tell you what. That man certainly doesn't miss his times in the weight room. As Luan trying for the dunk, he'll just kind of rattle it in. Not really a slam, but he's able to put it away, and Gaucho's down now 34-58, and wouldn't you know, another timeout called by Guy Meyer. We'll take this one with him this time, as it's with 10:01 left in the ball game, 58-34. Mesa leads it here at Glendale Community College. Hello and welcome back to Glendale Community College. Gaucho's down 58-34 with 10 minutes about left in the ball game, as on the inbound, DeMonet and Johnson were trying to trap Sessman in the corner. And in fact, they're able to tip it out of bounds, but just another inbound coming here for Mesa. So we'll do it again. This time it'll be Ross Jones to inbound. And fighting for the ball is DeMonet, and once again he knocks it out of bounds. So another inbound coming. So Ross Jones from a little bit of a different position this time will inbound again. And Kareem Johnson going to be called for grabbing his match there as he gets a hold of Kimbrell. So the shot clock reset to 30. And finally they get the inbound, and as soon as they do, the foul from Alex DeMonet. So an off-the-ball foul, and just now we get into the bonus, so we'll see another inbound. And finally, we might see some basketball here as Sessma will take it up the court against DeMonet. DeMonet with the press. Sessma finally getting it to the top of the key. Now dish it over to Ross Jones. Jones working against Newman. Spin move in the post and knocks down the jumper. Excellent play from Ross Jones. The perfect touch from maybe 7 feet away. Newman the quick three off the pass from DeMonet, no good. And grabbed by Ross Jones. He's getting it done on both sides here for the Thunderbirds. Sessma, the half-court press from DeMonet. Sessma working around to Ross Jones. Ross Jones dishing it inside to Newman. Newman attempting the layup and grabbed by Bradley on the rebound. So here's DeMonet. Bradley for three from the top of the key. No good off the pass from DeMonet. And a foul called here. And the foul going to go against Cheney. Cheney's second foul of the evening. So DJ Luan to inbound here for the Gauchos. Luan the dish out to Bankowski. He's been fairly quiet tonight as Johnson gets the pass from him and can't make the three. Sessma on the return now. He'll dish it to the top of the key. And Cheney looking for a pass on the outside, finally able to get it away to Kimbrell. Kimbrell working against Johnson. Kimbrell will just run around him, taking it to the hoop, and he's fouled. Kimbrell just blowing by Kareed Johnson, and it was all Kareed could do to reach out and grab the arm of Kimbrell to prevent the bucket. So Kimbrell will have 2 shots coming up here, trying to extend his team's lead to 28 should he make both. First one no good, a little strong with it, and we'll see a substitution here as Kareed Johnson comes out in favor of Micah Rentrope. Kareed not in any foul trouble yet, but just getting a much-needed break. And Kimbrell able to knock down his second. So 61-34, Mesa leads it now with 8.5 minutes left to go here in the game. Rentrope will take a 3 as he knocks that one down. A late hand from Cheney, no bother to him as he drains it with nothing but net. Kimbrell working against Rentrope. Top of the key for him as he dishes it over to Ross Jones. Ross Jones taking his time, just hanging on to the basketball before finally pulling up over Newman. Kind of put Newman to sleep as he just waited there, and then finally pulled up and knocked down the 3. Another timeout here, and this one not a Glendale timeout for once. It's called by Mesa. So a full timeout here for Mesa. We'll take it with them. 64-37. They lead it here, 8:04. Come back to Glendale Community College with us. .804 left to go here in the ball game at Glendale Community College. Ethan Jordan alongside you here on the Gauchos live stream, bringing you ACCAC basketball from the Valley of the Sun. Gauchos down 64-37 as we enter the final 8 minutes of this one, and Stephen Bankowski taking it up here for Glendale. He'll get it into Dominic Bradley in the post. His pass back to the outside is tipped by Kimbrell. Dominic Sesma going to take a break here as Perez will come in for him. Luwan will inbound to Bradley. Bradley trying for the screen handoff to him. Nothing doing. As now it'll be Rentrope driving the lane. Falls down. Tried to shovel it to Bradley, but it's stolen by Perez. Perez working the 3-on-1. The drive to the hoop by Ross Jones as he lays in the smooth layup. Really nice work by Ross Jones. Kimbrell along with what looked like maybe Pine with them as they ran the perfect 3-on-1 for the easy lay-in. So Bradley will inbound to Bankowski here. Gauchos down by 29. Thinking about a 3 was Newman. Instead, he'll go back out to the top of the key and Bankowski. Luwan lost the handle on it for a moment on the pass. Now he'll get it into Newman. Newman, little stutter step as he gets inside and lays it in. Hang time for him there as well as he just kind of pulled the ball back behind his head, waited for the defender to go by, and banked it in off the glass. Here's Kimbrell. Now he'll dish it out to Ross Jones. Now he'll give it over to Cheney, who's fouled, and foul called here against DJ Luwan, his second. 7th team foul of the period. .66-39 here on this very pleasant, cool evening in Glendale. 7:02 left to go in the ball game as Bryce Cheney knocks down the free throw. So Dustin Bankowski back the other way. Bankowski will dish it over to Mulaney. Haven't heard from him in a while, so he gives it over to Newman, and Trayvon Newman from the far corner nails the three. Inbound pass here to Kimbrell. Full court press on him from Bankowski. Kimbrell calling out a play to his offense. Now spins around Bankowski, dishes in, and oh, what a beautiful pass as he gets it to Pine. But Pine gets the ball stripped from Luan. Steal from Luan, and Newman trying to draw the contact. No foul called there, but the ball tipped by Perez out of bounds, and it'll be Gauchos basketball. After the steal, they just dished it to Newman, who tried to draw the contact against three Mesa Thunderbirds. No foul, but the ball in the possession of Glendale. Here's Luan. He'll inbound to Bradley. Bradley will dish it back to him on the handoff. Luan into the lane. As Bradley will take a three and knocks it down. Bradley not a lot of room to work there, but able to still knock down the triple. So here's Kimbrell. Working against Bankowski. He'll give it over to Newman. Errol Newman now back over to to Cheney. Cheney, an open lane, and this one tipped back out. Get it to Kimbrell, and Kimbrell will reset his offense. And he's going to be fouled as Newman was looking to drive to the hoop, and I think it may have been Bankowski who gave him the push. Second foul on Bankowski. Speaking of fouls, Ramon Franklin has remained on the bench so far in this one. I even wonder if we'll see anything at all from him the rest of this game, as with such a commanding lead, there may be no need to bring him back into the ballgame and risk that fifth foul. Kimbrell's second free throw is good, as now a 68-45 lead for the Thunderbirds. Bankowski to Newman. Now they'll get it over to Mulaney. Mulaney for three, knocks it down. Pulls his team within 20 now with 5.5 minutes left to go. Inbound to Kimbrell. They're working with the full court press as Bankowski leaning on Kimbrell here. Kimbrell over to Perez. Perez to Cheney. Cheney with Mulaney on him. Now Perez from the top of the key pulls up for three and knocks it down. And a time called out here by head coach Sam Ballard for Mesa. It'll be their second time out of the half, and we will take it right alongside them. 71-48, 5:07 left to go in this ball game. Come on back to Glendale Community College here on the Gauchos live stream. Welcome back inside the main gym here at Glendale Community College. Ethan Jordan alongside you, bringing ACCAC basketball here on the Gauchos live stream. Glendale down 71-48 to the Mesa Thunderbirds, as there's Newman, or I should say Mulaney. Chris Mulaney knocking down another tray as he pulls the team within 20. Brent Kimbrell up the other way. Bankowski working on him. Now Newman. They'll dish it over to Cheney. Cheney inside, trying to get it off the glass, and the foul called against Mulaney. Minimal contact there, but the ref saw the little bump, and he's going to call it. Mulaney's second foul of the evening. So Cheney will head to the line to shoot two. Cheney in. The two bounces. Awfully simple free throw mechanics as he just knocks that one down. You see some guys get really fancy, you know, the spin, the 17 bounces, with a couple knee bends. Not for Bryce Cheney. 2 bounces and he's ready to go. And he buries both of them, so well, if it works, it works. As Bankowski will take it the other way for Glendale. Working on Kimbrell. Kimbrell trying to push him back off the line as Bradley will get the basketball. And in the face of Malpine, knocks down the jumper. Just a little 10-foot jumper there for Bradley, and that's really where he excels. We just haven't seen too much of it tonight. Bryce Cheney at the top of the key. We'll give it over to Kimbrell on the far side. Kimbrell drive into the lane. Bounces off of both sides of the rim before falling out and into the hands of Newman. Now Bankowski over to Newman. Newman to Bradley. Bradley will pull from 3. Shot a little bit long, and the rebound from Cheney. Kimbrell going to slow it down here. He's met at half court by Bankowski. At the top of the key, now a little bit over to his right. He hands it off to Cheney. Cheney, and this pass tipped away. Excellent hands by Newman as he's a pest in the passing lanes. Speaking of pestering the passing lanes, they tried to get it back into Newman on the return, but running it down, great hustle from Bryce Cheney as he's able to tip it out of bounds and let his defense reset here. Kimbrell going to come out of the ball game now in favor of Dominic Sesma. Much needed break there for Kimbrell. Here's Bradley. Bradley trying to post up against Pine. Pine a little bit bigger than him, so he'll elect to go back out and dish it to Mullaney, who takes the 3 and buries it. Gonna need your shovel to get that one back. 3:15 left to go here in the ball game. 73-56 Gauchos will trail the Mesa Thunderbirds, and a foul called here. Bankowski will pick up his 3rd personal. The 10th team personal of the half, and we mentioned at the beginning the Gauchos were doing a nice job of preventing the personal fouls at the beginning of this half, but since then, far too many fouls on the side of the Gauchos. And in the bonus, Sesma will head to the line. Phoenix, Arizona native will knock down his first. Second opportunity on the way. He buries that one as well, and the lead back to 19 here for Mesa. And then timeout called here by Sam Ballard. 3:12 left to go here in the second half. I should say Mesa up 75-56. We'll take a break. Come on back to Glendale Community College with us here on the Gauchos live stream. (75-56) our score here at Glendale Community College as the Mesa Thunderbird lead the Glendale Gauchos here with 3:12 left to go in this ACCAC matchup. Alex DeMone driving to the paint, will dish it back out, and burying the shot is Chris Mullaney. And if there's a silver lining to this blowout, well, what looks to be a blowout loss for Glendale, it's been Chris Mullaney. He's been terrific, red hot from 3 here in this second half. Here's Sesma. Sesma will work it back to the outside, and Cheney. And I'll tell you what, Glendale hasn't played all that poorly in this second half, but had a big deficit going into it. And there's the travel It's going to be called against Franklin. So we were wondering if we'd see Ramon Franklin back in this ball game. Here he is. Only one foul to give for him, so he's going to need to be careful. He gets called for the travel here, and it'll be Gauchos basketball. So Demone will take it back the other way, and it looked like he had a lane there, but just no vision to see it. And it goes off the knee of a Mesa player, and grabbing is Mullaney. Chris Mullaney, he'll drive to the basket, and he's fouled. Foul called against Antoine Ross Jones. Coaching staff for Mesa yelling at Ross Jones to keep the man in front of you, as they know how well Chris Mullaney has played in this second half, and he's really a guy you got to keep an eye on if you're this Mesa defense. So Mullaney at the line now in the bonus. He'll knock down his first one. Second attempt will fall as well, as it kind of rolls around and then splashes down for him. 2:18 left to go in the ballgame. 75-61. Glendale trails. There's Franklin now. Ramon Franklin. One foul to give. He'll take it up here for Mesa. Working on Newman at the top of the key. Now we'll go over to Sesma, and Sesma. Oh, I don't know about that call. Didn't look like Demone got anything but the basketball, but they're going to call the foul and send Sesma to the line. Demone's third foul of the evening. And the first shot from Sesma is good. Second attempt, nothing but net. So 77-61 the lead now for Mesa. Here's Demone working it up for Glendale. He'll be worked on by Sesma, and a foul called, perhaps a moving screen called against the Gauchos, and that'll give the ball back to Mesa. Fouls against Trayvon Newman. I believe his third foul of the evening. His second, I should say. Either way, no chance. Not really any foul trouble for him here with just about 2 minutes left to go. Sesma. And he's going to be pressed by Demone all the way up the court. Spin move trying to get around him, but Demone sticking right with him. He dishes it over to Cheney. Cheney has Luan on him. Bit of a size mismatch here. So we'll see what they try and do with it. And in fact, they'll try and have it here as Cheney drives the lane and dishes over to Pine. Back to the top of the key, and Sesma. Sesma to the lane. The reverse! No good as the shot clock sounds. And the ball out of bounds off the Gauchos, and it'll be Mesa basketball. Pass comes in here to Antoine Ross Jones. And the dish here to Luan on the fast break as he lays it in. Really nice fast break. Mason not ready for it as Luan just hustled down the court and able to get the easy lay-in. Sesma working against Demone. Clock ticking down to just about a minute left to go here in this ball game. Here's Cheney with the ball. Working against Mullaney. And Cheney will just drive the lane, and he's fouled. And boy, if they hadn't called the first one, he was going to get fouled at the basket anyway. In the bonus, it doesn't matter where he is fouled, he'll head to the line. He got hit a couple of times going up for that, but he'll be rewarded with 2 free throw shots. The first of which he buries. And the lead up to 78-63 now. 56 seconds left to go in the ball game. Gauchos trailing the Mesa Thunderbirds. Cheney will knock down the second shot as well, as the free throw shooting has progressed in this ball game here for both teams, as They've both been fairly steady from the line after a tough first half at the charity stripe. Spin move by Johnson, or I shouldn't say Johnson, I should say Mullaney, and did look like he may have traveled. No call, however, as Franklin grabs the rebound. Redmond Franklin working against Newman, and Newman going to be called for the blocking foul here. The foul is, in fact, against Newman, his third of the evening. So Franklin will head to the line. He's got an interesting free throw motion as he's missed the first one. He'll go down into almost a crouch and then slowly and steadily work out of the crouch before pulling up and shooting the shot. Almost like a spring slowly releasing before exploding at the end. The Newman will inbound to Desmonet. Desmonet, he's been awfully quiet in this second half. He'll give it out to Newman. Newman for three. Well long with that one, and the rebound by Sesma. Taken away by Mullaney as he just took it right out of the hands of Sesma and lays it in. What a second half this fella has had. Chris Mullaney, the freshman, getting it done here in the second half. And a foul called here against Desmonet, his fifth, and he is done for the evening. So coming in for him is Dustin Bankowski. Bankowski will have to take over for Desmonet as he is fouled out of this ball game. And in the bonus, Dominic Sesma will head to the line. No good on his first free throw. His team up by 15 here with 17.2 seconds left to go in the ball game. Newman will dish it into Bankowski. Bankowski out to DJ Luan. Luan for three. No good. As the rebound grabbed by Franklin as he kind of came in out of nowhere to grab that one. Newman thought he had the rebound, but taken away at the last moment, and that'll be the ball game. So an 81-65 victory as the Mesa Thunderbirds pick up their first win of the season, a commanding one here in Glendale. They'll move to 1-4 on the year, 1-1 in conference play, a tough loss for them really a week ago as they played Pima, but either way, they're 1-1 in conference play to this point. Gauchos fall to 4-4 on the season. They're 0-2 so far here in the conference. Good. And we welcome in Seth Askelson. He was on the PA duties here tonight, so unable to join us for the broadcast, but going to sit in here on the post-game show. And Seth, we talked about it in the opening, 14 minutes before the first two-point bucket for Glendale. There's just overall not a lot of physicality, not a lot of scoring in the paint for Glendale, and part of it's a credit to Sam Billard. He had a terrific defensive scheme drawn up. Mesa really played their zone defense very well in this game, but what can Coach Guy Meyer do to get his team more involved in the paint? Because, frankly, you look down this roster for Mesa, they have one guy over 6'10", and that's it. Everybody else is 6'7" or shorter, and while obviously to us, those are some pretty big fellas. Compared to the rest of this league, say a Chandler Gilbert, where they've got two guys that are 6'11" and another one who's 6'10", what can they do to combat this lack of size and this lack of physicality in the paint?
It's using their speed. That's what it's all about. We saw it a lot, and what I noticed in the second half is Trayvon Newman, right at the beginning of that second half, he was getting inside. He was finding the hole in the defense, in the zone defense, and so he was getting in there, using his speed kind of from the right side to get the bucket up, and it happened a couple more times. I'm surprised they didn't go back to it. At the point of the game they were at, they had to shoot their way back in, but it's about getting everybody involved. I mean, Trayvon Newman, he's 6'4", you know what I mean? He's not, those towering guys, but he's definitely not a short guy at all. And so getting him more involved, getting Luan more involved, and you see the Gauchos offense, they don't work inside out. It's all around the perimeter. The ball never goes inside, and that's a problem. It's fine if you shoot a lot of threes, but you're not even trying to work the ball in, and when you're not even trying to work the ball inside, it's pretty easy to get stopped offensively.
And obviously a pretty big blowout loss for the Gauchos, but the one silver lining perhaps is Chris Mullaney. He had a season-high 6 points in the first half and then was terrific in the second half as well, so he kind of had his breakout game here tonight, the 6'1" freshman from Sunrise Mountain High School here in Arizona, and he's the guy that can knock down the three, and we've saw him get a little bit physical in the paint. Not a big guy, but was able to kind of get low, make some moves in the paint, and drive the lane, and they were really focusing him on defense. What can a guy off the bench like Mullaney do to moving forward in this season for the Gauchos?
It's just about bringing that energy. His shooting was on fire, as we saw. He had 6 threes in the second half. He finished with 20 points. So he had a big second half, 14 points, where he was pretty much knocking down anything that he threw up. He's a guy that can be a spark. You saw it. Once he started hitting shots, then guys like Luan were hitting shots. Dominique Bradley was hitting shots from the outside. And so all it takes is one in this game. And unfortunately, the Gauchos were at a point where they were literally down 30 points. And, yeah, they were able to climb back into it. It made it a little more respectable. But their cold shooting and near refusal to go inside with the basketball in the first half and really the first 25 minutes of this basketball game is what cost them tonight.
Well, you talked about working inside out, and they're just a lot of teams you'll see point guard or even someone else will drive the lane, and then if I don't have the layup that I want to take, I dish it back out, and hopefully someone's open from three. We saw that, I think, maybe once from Glendale tonight. There's no explosiveness towards the net, and moving forward, I think it's almost a fundamental of basketball to do that. You can work it around the outside as much as you want, but if you're just passing around the outside against a zone defense like that, no one's going to be open.
And it's like you said, nobody's going to get open, but also the defense is just going to hang out at the three-point line. If they know nobody is going to try to drive the ball towards the net, they're just going to stand there, wait for the shot, get the hand up, and then grab the board. And I think we saw it towards the end that guys were driving. Mullaney started to drive the lane a little bit, and he was opening up some holes. When Dominique Bradley would get the ball at the top of the key or at the free throw line, when he was driving in, a guy like Trayvon Newman was wide open. And so it's about working inside out instead of just running down, getting everybody a touch around the perimeter, and then whoever has the ball last throwing it up.
I think the Gauchos certainly looked better in that second half, just a little bit too late, as they were down by a fairly wide margin after the first period. So I think they just came out a little flat, where I didn't really have the physicality, didn't really have the energy against this Mesa Community College. We saw the energy from Glendale against Chandler Gilbert, though they did lose that game by, I believe, 4 points. The energy was there to begin the game, and it just wasn't here tonight on their home court.
And I think part of that was Mesa. They came out and they played literally different night and day offensive styles compared to Glendale. While Glendale was going down, jacking up the three-pointer, Mesa was driving the ball inside. Like you were saying, they went to the net, and if it wasn't there, they'd throw it out to the perimeter, and there was usually an open shot. And we talked about when Glendale played Chandler Gilbert that they were almost a little too excited defensively and maybe over-pursued a little bit. But tonight, I don't know if I want to say the energy wasn't there, but they definitely looked very defeated defensively, especially when Mesa was getting those open looks pretty much every time down the court.
And certainly free throws weren't great for either team at the beginning of the game, and towards the second half, both teams were able to kind of work things out with that. And so I don't know if that played a huge role, but anytime you get to the line, you draw that foul, and you can't make that free throw. I think one of the big turning points of this game, if you will, is when Dominic Bradley finally got the first 2-point bucket on the and one and missed the free throw. That kind of deflated this team a little bit, and I think that kind of was downhill from there for them. But this is just a tough loss for Glendale. There's just not anything really you can say, I feel like, if you're Guy Meyer in the huddle. We just got beat at every facet of the game tonight. Other than maybe three-point shooting, I think the numbers were close, but they just almost out-basketballed them, if you will. The strategy was better from Mesa. They were more physical in the paint. Their rebounding was better. The passing was much better from them. They were able to work some nice passes inside, and when you have a big man like Bryce Cheney who can dish the ball out as well, that certainly helps if you're Mesa.
Yeah, and when you look at Guy Meyer and his offense, what we've seen through the first two conference games is if this team is not a hot shooting team, they're toast. They're done for. And you saw it in this first half. The first 20 minutes and especially the first 10 minutes, they couldn't buy a bucket. And because of that, Mesa wasn't necessarily going down the court and scoring every time, but because Glendale was going 5, 6, 7 possessions without a bucket, it allowed Mesa to eventually stretch their lead to 30 in the second half.
Yeah, he said it's at just a slow start for the Gauchos, kind of snowballed on them, leading to this victory for Mesa. So Glendale falls here tonight to Mesa. I believe their next game is a week from today, or next week at the very least. In fact, coming up a little sooner than I expected. And, that's not the right schedule. They'll be at Pima on December 2nd. We'll see if we have that game for you here, although I don't think we will, as Pima a little bit out of our travel budget and all the way down in the Tucson area. So I believe our next ball game will be right back here at Glendale Community College on December 6th as the Gauchos take on the Scottsdale Fighting Artichokes, trying to get their first victory here on the home court. Guy Meyer's first home victory as coach of these Glendale Gauchos. So for Seth Askelson, I'm Ethan Jordan. Gauchos fall here tonight to Mesa Community College. Have a great night, everybody.